Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:34 p.m. and I'll call on Councillor Decker to read the land acknowledgement.
I don't have it.
It's up here.
Okay. Thank you. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattawandurunk, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live.
Thank you, Councillor Decker. Adoption of the agenda as amended to item 12.8.
Declarations of interest.
Oh, excuse me. Are there any declarations of interest? Seeing none, adoption of the agenda as amended to include item 12.8. Can I get a mover and a seconder? And that's the item that we will be addressing as 12.8. I've got Councillor D'Angelo and Councillor DeRose. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Adoption of the minutes, CL 8, 2025. Can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the open and closed minutes of the council meeting held on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025? Can I get a mover? I got Councillor Decker and Councillor Sentence. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Mayor's remarks. Mountain View Lemonade Day took place on Saturday, June 7th throughout Niagara, and the city of Thorold was well represented with numerous stands throughout the city. Thank you to those families and children who set up stands, city councilors who attended these stands, Thorold Fire and Emergency Services, Niagara EMS, and the residents who supported this terrific initiative, Kids Helping Kids, with proceeds going to send kids to summer camp. We await the final fundraising total. On May 28th, I attended the Niagara Regional Police Service Strategic Plan Workshop held at their headquarters in Niagara Falls. This workshop helped shape our future as part of the process in developing their 2026 to 2029 strategic plan. On May 30th, the Help Kids Shine wrap-up event was held at the Stone Mill Ballroom in St. Catharines. Donna Vendetti from Mountain View Building Group chaired this year's Niagara Children's Center Help Kids Shine fundraising campaign. This year's goal was $350,000, and they beat that goal and raised an amazing $462,641 and still counting. Thorold's Beaverlock Farms Canola Field Pitcher fundraiser raised over $26,500, with them matching funds up to $10,000. On May 30th, Councillor Sentence and I were part of the opening ceremony for the 44th Ontario Parasport Games Niagara 2025, leading the wheelchair tennis athletes into the main arena at Canada Games Park. The City of Thorold sponsored the tennis event, and I was on hand to present medals for this event on Sunday, June 1st. On Sunday, June 1st, the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 17 Thorold hosted their annual Decoration Day parade and ceremony. Thank you for keeping this tradition alive. Thank you, Thorold Legion Branch 17, Canadian Corps Unit 44, Thorold, American Legion Post 105, American Legion Branch 138, Thorold Fire and Emergency Services, Niagara Regional Police Services, Niagara EMS, Thorold Pipe Band, and the 128 Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron, Thorold Flying Dragons. All those in attendance, including Councillors Sentence, O'Hare, and D'Angelo. Thank you, Councillor Sentence, for bringing remarks on behalf of Council as I arrived late from the Ontario Parasports Games medal ceremony. On June 2nd, we raised the Pride Niagara flag at City Hall, and I was joined by Councillors Didavitas, O'Hare, Sentence, City staff, Pride Niagara Chair Enzo Didavitas, and many others. June marks the beginning of Pride Month. Every year this month celebrates the history, courage, and contributions of the 2S LGBTQIA+ communities. On June 3rd, I was joined by Fire Chief Terry Dixon, Deputy Fire Chief Mike DeGasperis, Station 4 Chief Glenn Braun, and many Thorold Fire and Emergency Services firefighters to honor Captain Clifford Youngblood on his retirement after 39 years of service as a volunteer firefighter with Thorold Fire and Emergency Services Station 4. Thank you, Clifford, for your commitment and dedication to our community, and all the best in your retirement. On June 5th, I presented Ann Mantini Salima, Executive Director at Wellspring Niagara, with a certificate to recognize their 25th anniversary, an amazing milestone for a great community partner. On June 5th, I was joined by Councilors Decker, O'Hare, Sentence, DeAngela, Regional Councilor Whalen, City staff, Manoj Dovaria, Maria Morrow, Natalie Stickles, as well as MP and MPP representatives at the Senior of the Year Awards held at the Thorold Center 50+. Leslie Daniels was chosen the City of Thorold Senior of the Year, and Brenda Bader was chosen Thorold Center 50+ Senior of the Year. Congratulations, both are very deserving award winners who constantly give back to their community and are great ambassadors for the City of Thorold. On June 7th, I was joined by CAO Manoj Dalwaria, Natalie Stickles, Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati, and Walker Industries President and CEO Jordy Walker at the Walker Niagara Campus Neighbor Appreciation Open House. This annual event includes family-friendly activities, quarry and environmental operation tours, educational demonstrations, and, of course, food. On June 7th, Councillor O'Hare represented City Council at the 128 Royal Canadian Air Cadet Squadron Thorold Flying Dragons 83rd Annual Ceremonial Review. This event was held at the Thorold Frank Doherty Community Arena. The ceremonial review celebrated the accomplishments of the cadets for the 2024-2025 training year and included their marching band. On June 11th, the Thorold Community Market and BIA Car Show kicked off with the Abamania Show in the Battle of Beaver Dams Park. What an outstanding turnout and feedback. I'm estimating we had well over 2,000 in the park that evening. What do we have a number roughly?
About 2,000, 2,300.
2,300. This week,
In and out.
that was awesome. This weekly event runs from June 11th to August 27th, 5 to 9 p.m., with the grand finale on Saturday, September 13th, from 12 noon to 4 p.m. Thank you goes out to our special events committee team and city staff, as well as Thorold Fire and Emergency Services, by law enforcement, and all our generous sponsors. On June 12th, I was joined by Regional Councillor Whalen City staff, Ontario Festival of Culture, Arts and Sports members, and FCAN, Filipino Canadian Association of Niagara members, for the Philippine flag-raising ceremony at City Hall in recognition of Philippine Independence Day. On June 14th, I attended the Niagara River Lions 10th Anniversary Alumni Breakfast held at the Holiday Inn and Suites Conference Center in St. Catharines. I presented them with a certificate in recognition of their 10-year anniversary milestone. On June 16th, I was joined by Councillors Decker, Sentence, O'Hare, Didavitas, and Regional Councillor Whalen at the 2025 Thorold Runway Recognition Awards Banquet held at Amici's Banquet and Conference Center. This event is always a highlight on our annual calendar and brings the community together to honor the inductees and award recipients. Congratulations to all the 2025 inductees and award recipients. Thank you to the Thorold Runway Recognition Committee for the great work you do, and we look forward to next year's event. The Niagara Jazz Festival on Sunday, June 29th, will kick off a spectacular 3-day Canada Day event. The festivities will continue on Monday, June 30th, with rock and blues on the battlefield, and continue on Tuesday, July 1st, with our Canada Day celebrations and fireworks display. All 3 days take place in the Battle of Beaver Dams Park and are all free. Bring your lawn chairs and blankets and enjoy this great community event as we celebrate 50 years as a city, 150 years as a town, and 175 years as a village. For more information, please visit our website and Facebook page. Thorold Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation is accepting applications for 1 and 2 bedroom units in their new building at 5 Baker Street. This building is for seniors age 55 plus and will be ready for occupation on November 1st, 2025, this fall. You can apply at their office located at 61 Ormond Street South. We are proud to recognize our CAO, Manoj Dalwaria, for 10 years of dedicated service in municipal government management roles. Manoj's commitment and leadership have played a key role in the continued growth and success of our municipality. On behalf of City Council and staff, we extend our sincere thanks for your ongoing support and your valued contributions as a member of the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators. Congratulations, Manoj, and thank you for your outstanding service. And I have a certificate to present you with as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So if you want to stand up, we can go down here. As Mayor of the City of Thorold, on behalf of City Council and the community, I'm honored to congratulate Manoj Dalwaria for 10 years of dedicated service in municipal government as a member of the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators. We would like to thank you for your service, commitment, and leadership, which have played a key role in the continued growth and success of our municipality. Congratulations. I don't know if there's anyone here with the camera, but we'll get. It'll be on the live feed.
Absolutely.
And one other item in closing. In closing, in his recent report, our Integrity Commissioner, Michael Maynard, recommended that City Council strongly condemn anti-Semitism and affirm the City of Thorold's commitment to welcoming individuals of all backgrounds, nationalities, ethnicities, and faiths. As head of council, I'm here to reinforce that we do. In September of 2020, Region of Niagara mayors voted to join the Coalition of Inclusive Municipalities, a network that brings together municipalities that want to improve their policies against racism, discrimination, exclusion, and intolerance. Niagara joined 82 other member municipalities across Canada who are working to advance initiatives that improve their practices to promote social inclusion, establish policies to eradicate all forms of racism and discrimination, and promote human rights and diversity. Our role as community leaders is to be there for all of our diverse community. The City of Thorold is committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and respectful community for all. In the City of Thorold, we are all one. And that's the end of my marriage. And up next, we have special guests tonight. I'll call on Dr. Leslie Rigg, President and Vice Chancellor, Brock University, for a presentation regarding Brock University's Institutional Strategic Plan 2025 to 2030. And welcome. Welcome, Leslie. I personally have had this presentation when you released it at the university. I'm so happy that you came to council to present and answer any questions. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. And good evening, councilors. I'm just going to do that. So I'm very pleased to be joining you this evening to provide an update, not just on Brock's strategic plan, but on our recent activity and where we see our focus for the several years ahead. I think, and I know that the Brock community believes this too, that this is truly an exciting time, not just for Brock, but for our community here in Niagara and beyond. If I can get the slides up. That would be. So that's our community. Don't we look awesome? I recognize some faces there. Can I get the next slide, please? So I don't need to share with everyone here, but I'll wait.
You got it?
We're doing nothing, so that's the presentation.
It's up over here. I don't know why it's not there. Is it here?
Yeah, that's part of the agenda. I'm just
It's on the agenda feed, I know.
If everybody has it in front of them, I can just roll through so we're not taking up time.
Yeah, we ready?
Yeah.
Kidding. There we go. Okay.
Voila. Okay. So I think it's no surprise to anyone in this room that we turned 60 years this year. So 60 years ago, the Niagara residents joined together to advocate for a university to call their own. And, you know, I truly believe that they knew then what remains true now. And that is that a public university intrinsically dedicated to serving the community has immeasurable value. Studying locally for students here and bringing students in means more talent here to be retained in the region. Local industry could count on a highly trained workforce, and more innovation happens right here in Niagara. And while that was 1964, I know it to be true now, ever more than ever. So if I can get the next slide. You know, one of the numbers that is crazy to me as we stand at the convocation stage is that 120,000 students since Brock was first started have crossed that convocation stage. So we have more than 120,000 alumni, many of which have stayed in the Niagara region and contributed to our local economies, and then those that have left have contributed to the economies around the world. We have over 2,100 full-time employees who still live here, or who live here in the region, so it's not just our students who go out, but we attract talent to the region to work at the university. 250 approximately live here in Thorold. And so Thorold and Brock University are tied in so many ways. So if I can get the next slide, please. Recent years have seen great momentum at Brock. We opened the Brock Niagara Validation, Prototyping, and Manufacturing Institute, and this is an institute which connects Ontario industry with Brock researchers, and it was funded by FedDev, which is set up to do that exact thing. The launch of our integrated engineering program, a promise that was made at the inception of the university in the 60s, one that we have lived up to this year by launching the program this past fall. It's an innovative program training the future engineers that we so desperately need across our region and obviously our country. We also are going to be breaking ground at some point very soon on a research farm. And so this was funded, it's called CASP, the Clean Agriculture and Sustainable Production facility, and it was funded to the tune of $7 million from the province of Ontario and the federal government, with matching funds from the university and partners. And so it's a $10 million project just to break ground, and then it will be sustaining and growing. And it is going to be dedicated to the agriculture future of our region. And it just happens to be located in Thorold, so that's awesome.
It's even better.
And we have received our second consecutive Silver Stars rating for our sustainability efforts here in the region. We're also always pleased to receive top employer rankings, including one for our commitment to diversity which speaks to the declaration that the mayor made earlier. And increasing numbers of Brock graduates are staying and working in Niagara, and that just gives us joy because we know the contribution they're making to various places around the region, including Thorold. The accomplishments go on, but I have only 10 minutes, so I will love to share any of them with you at any time if you're interested, but if we can move to the next slide. One thing that I know our community really benefits from is what we are so proud of, our experiential learning and co-op offerings. With experiential learning opportunities in 100% of our academic programs, we stand out across the country as leaders in experiential education. We bridge theory and practice. Students can develop their skills, have a positive impact on the local business community, and they get confidence too, so that when they come out, they're stronger leaders and stronger contributors. These are two of our students, two that you may know. Emma on the left, who is an intern at the City of Thorold. You can see her quote on the screen. If you can't read it, I think it's in your package, so you can take a look. And then Jet on the other side of the screen, who completed his co-op placement at Norgem Biotech, one of our great success stories here in Thorold and for Brock. Over the past few years, there have been 70 co-op placements in Thorold alone, and these opportunities are made possible because of the partnerships that we have with the City of Thorold and the business community that lives here and works here. So if I can get the next slide. Our strong partnership with Thorold is instrumental in supporting student engagement and community connection. Last September, our Student Life team was an in-kind sponsor for the Thorold Community Market Finale. During the Brock Cares Day of Service, more than 170 student volunteers participated in community activities. And I think up there you can see City Councillor Mike DeVitas and Thorold BIA Board Chair Serge Carpino at the grill making lunch for volunteers. Thorold also supported the launch of the Brock Student Local Guide, which I think has done amazing work towards increased happiness, I think, of the community, because it's a resource for our off-campus students so that they can connect with local services and be better citizens. It was handed out during the Welcome Wagon visits, and one student told us, I mean, this is just one example, right? If it wasn't for that, she wouldn't have known where to go for emergency dental care. It's just making the connections that the students need to make when they're new in an area. So it's the partnership that we have on that is making a huge difference. If I could get the next slide. You know, the strong foundation of the partnerships and the community that I've been talking about, that collaboration with communities such as Thorold, they play a really pivotal role in the university and how we form. And so the next steps for our university, if I could have the next slide, we would not have been able to take them in terms of creating a strategic plan if it wasn't for consultation with those that matter. And so because Brock was founded by the community for the community, it was imperative that we got feedback from as many groups as possible because we were looking to be guided for the next few years. So at the outset of our consultations, and many from Thorold were a part of that, we asked stakeholders, what's Brock's purpose? You know, why are we here? What is it that we're doing? And it was a simple question, which elicited a really complicated set of answers. And so as we sorted through thousands of responses, the message did become quite clear. We distilled it down, and the answer that we got on the next page, or on the next slide, is transforming people and reimagining the future through curiosity, creativity, and courage. And I think that anybody who knows one of our students, if they knew them before they went to Brock and they've known them after, university, not just Brock, any post-secondary can be a life-changing experience. And so for many of our students, I hear that Brock is what changed their lives and enabled them to reimagine the future. Curiosity drives innovation and progress. Creativity helps us think in new ways. And what I would say is so special about Brock is that notion of courage, because it gives us the ability and the oomph to push for better and to be and create a better world. So if I can have the next slide. You know, in all that we do, you know, the way we go about transforming people, it's not some kind of production line where we put them on a conveyor belt and then we pump them out at the end and they look different, right? There's a huge process that goes on. And we do what we do in the classroom, outside of the classroom, in the co-ops, with community. We do it with guiding principles. And the guiding principles that we have are championing one another, breaking down barriers, leading by example. And I pause on this one because that's such a common thing to say, lead by example. But we did this purposefully because actions matter. The actions you take here on City Council, the actions we take, the actions our students take. We need to make sure that we set a standard for them to live up to and to live by. So leading by example is not something that we took lightly. And learning through curiosity, it's that quest for knowledge, being curious and being creative. Our strategic planning exercise really helped us refine and articulate these principles, and we know that our alumni and our supporters have long demonstrated these values. So if you go to the next slide, through the consultation process, and we were building on a really popular and very positive previous strategic plan, which was called Niagara Roots Global Reach. So we were refining. We didn't want to throw it out. We were refining what was already working well. And so we identified 4 key principles and priority areas. So these are the priority areas or the strategic directions. You know, we couldn't be a university if we didn't shape tomorrow through research, discovery, and knowledge. So that goes without saying. Building sustainable futures is a celebration of everything that we do here in Niagara, living in and near a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, taking sustainability as a campus seriously, and also our financial sustainability. So this was a big catch for a lot of the directions that we're going in. And realizing you matter. This one is really important because it's not just about individual students, it's about the communities we work with, it's about the companies that we help, and it's about the people who work on our campus and the public that we interact with every day. It's really important that people know that they matter, and that's one of the directions and the strategies that Brock has to ensure that people know that. And then finally, I think that we are dedicated, no matter what the federal government deals in regards to international students at the moment, we are committed to bringing Brock to the world, or the world to Brock and Brock to the world. We know that our community is better served with a diverse, vibrant population. It's different ways of thinking, innovative ideas, creativity, and it's an enriching environment to be able to celebrate all that we are when it comes to the makeup of our student population, our regional population. So what I would say is that partnerships, both at home and abroad, so bringing the world to Brock and Brock to the world, are at the heart of what we do. And so if you can go to the next slide, I think a great example for us, the notion of how our partnerships at home benefit us, the Canada Games Park stands as a testament to the collaborative spirit between Brock University and the city of Thorold. It's become a lasting legacy of the 2022 Canada Summer Games, a shared space that brings community together. We look forward to building on our strong relationships with Thorold as we collaborate on new opportunities and create sustainable impact together. So if you go to the next slide. I just really want to thank you for your time this evening. As a community-focused regional institution, Brock thrives through its partnerships and collaborations with local municipal partners, and I am truly thankful for the opportunity to provide you with an update on our recent activity, and I do look forward to our continued partnership. It means so much to the university. It means so much to our students and to the faculty and staff that live here. We are better because of you, and we are so pleased to be here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. I was so excited to hear that you're breaking ground soon on the farm.
Soon academically could be 5 years. No, I'm just joking.
No.
No, we are, yeah.
for those that don't know where it's located, it's going to be located south of DQ Road. Once you cross the causeway or the bridge, you'll see a sign up there now and shows where that is actually going to be located. And the other thing that I just want to highlight was the Allenberg Women's Institute, who were so instrumental in working to get the university located in Niagara.
And that's,
Happy to see that in your slides as well.
that story, Terry, or Marigalini, is one of the reasons why I really, truly wanted to come and be a part of Brock. It's a pretty amazing story.
Okay, so I'll open the floor. Councillor Sentence.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, I just want to give a shout out. Councillor Dedivitis, myself, and the mayor sit on the Town and Gown. And from where it was probably 4 or 5 years ago with the students in the area, working with Brad Clark, Busu, and your security team, they hit it out of the park. Everything's going really well right now, and we're hoping to keep it up. Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor Dedivitis, and then Councillor
Through
Duncan.
you. Thank you so much for coming. It shows what kind of leader you are to come here and address council. I'm so proud to have Brock University in my backyard. What you've done for Thorold's downtown, I have so many families throughout the years who come there. The kids come to first time at Thorold. I never knew this existed. What a beautiful downtown. You're really helping the growth of Thorold. I couldn't imagine Niagara without Brock University. And the leadership that you have there is amazing. And I have so many friends. The kids go there. My son goes there. My wife graduated from there. My brother graduated from there. It's an amazing experience. And you're doing a great job by making everybody feel welcomed. Just as you are. You don't have to change. Just be yourself. And I hear that what's happening at Brock is amazing. And I'm very, very thankful that you're here and the council talking to all of us. And I look forward to working with you more and more in the future. It's not just about education, it's about being partners with us in our community, and you're doing a great job with that. And I want to give a big shout out to Kristen Smith. She does a great job, and anything that I can do in the council, we would love to work with you, and we're very happy to have you in our backyard. There's so many positive things you do in our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Councillor Dedivitis. Go ahead, Councillor Decker. You had your hand up.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Just a comment. Thank you, Lester, for your presentation. I agree with, what Mr. Dedivitis said and Councillor Sentence. I just want to say our events committee had the privilege of getting to know Emma while she was Jacob's assistant through her co-op, and she was a little shy girl, but very, very helpful to him. And it's really neat that we had the privilege of having her assist us with the events this year, especially the Santa Claus Parade. So that's pretty cool. So thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else? Councillor O'Hare, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, thanks, Dr. Brigg, for coming in. I have one short question and then a comment. The question is the new Indigenous Studies programs at Brock. And that's something that's been developed and seems to be expanding. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So we do have many programs, and the student numbers are growing. So Hadia Degenhas is the meeting place for our Indigenous students, and we've received external funding for programs to encourage students to think as entrepreneurs and to develop their educational path. This year, we have reached a milestone. The AVP Indigenous, Robin Bourgeois, told me at convocation that she just saw the numbers. We have over 450 Indigenous students on our campus at the moment. But we are looking to grow. We are looking, I would really like to see the development of a facility. Obviously, times are tight economically for the university, but working with partners, we're hoping, I would love to see that during my time as president, to see that established and have a permanent home for Hadia Degenhas and our Indigenous students.
That's great. And we do have the room for it as well. So if you want to put that facility here. And just a comment, I want to applaud you and Brock University on your strategic direction. In these days, there's a lot of pushback on DEI and sustainability, and I commend you for putting that at the forefront and staying strong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Okay, I just want to comment on the Indigenous programming. I'm sure you're aware, but in the city of Thorold, we have the Thorold Indigenous, the Unity Garden, which is located in the Mel Smart Lake Gibson Conservation Park, as well as the First Nations Peace Monument located in the DQ House Heritage Park. And they'd be great to incorporate into your programming. We're doing a lot. We had, Michelle Elise Burnett had over 100 at a program she ran this past Saturday in the park. It was actually quite heartwarming.
Excellent.
But anyway, I want to thank you for coming and keeping the lines of communication open. We know how important partnerships and collaboration are and community engagement, and I want to thank you for the efforts on that initiative and as we continue to move forward together. So thank you, Dr. Rigg. And I call you Leslie, you call me Terry, but professionally, it's President Rigg. So
Thank you so
much
much
for coming.
Thank you for having me. Have a good evening and a good rest of your meeting.
Okay, there are no delegations, so we're going to move on to items of consent. So we have items 11.1 through 11.10. And is there anyone that wants to pull an item, or are we taking them as a block? Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not pulling any items, but just on 11.5, the accounts payable listing, JBM Office Services is listed on several checks, so I just wanted to declare a conflict. My brother works for that company, so I just,
Do you want me to vote on that separate? Or?
if you can, and then you
That-
can move
that
the
would
rest
be
of the block
fine.
if no one's
Yeah,
interested
okay.
in pulling it forward. Thank you.
Okay, so can I get a mover and a seconder for all the items, but we will take 11.5 separate. Did you want to? Okay, so I have a mover. Can I get a seconder? Councillor Sentence. So right now, we're taking 11.1 through 11.10 with the exception of 11.5, which we'll vote on separately. So 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4, 11.6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And again, we had the mover and a seconder on 11.5, and Councillor D'Angelo's declared a conflict on this, so the rest of the council, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, we're going to move on to items for consideration. 12.1, CLC 16-2025, Parks, Trails, and Recreation Advisory Committee resolution regarding washroom facilities along trails and parks. Can I get a mover and seconder to put this on the floor? I got Councillor O'Hara and Councillor Sentence. Is there any questions? Dave and Jeff are here to answer if there are, and I know we have committee members here as well. Did you want to comment, or you're good? Go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I completely support this. I know, having used the canal trail, that it's quite extensive, quite long, and you may, from time to time, need a washroom. So if something can be worked out, I think it's a great objective, and we'll just wait to hear back from staff on how this can be developed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we had a mover and a seconder. All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. (12.2) Proposed amendments to the city's flag-raising policy. Can I get a mover and a seconder for this one, please? Councillor Ditavitas and Councillor Decker. Anybody who wants to speak to that? Nicholas is here to answer any questions. Go ahead, Councillor D'Angelo.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to, well, I'm going to speak on it first, but as I was going through the policy, I noticed that in the past, we allowed community groups to put a flagpole up at the Battle of Beaver Dams Park, and we absorbed half the cost, and they fundraised for the other half. In the new policy, it states that it's got to be fully funded by the community group. I don't know if we can revisit that and go back to the terms that were discussed last time a community group put up a flag there. To me, the Battle of Beaver Dams Park is an all-inclusive park. You know, we're trying to encourage more and more people to utilize it. We have a lot of events there. So if there's community groups that want to put up a flag there, I think we should work with them to do so. We've done it in the past, sort of set a precedence with that being done in the past. So I don't know how you want to amend this, or if you want to send it back.
Yeah, because I think the policy that the change they're talking is adding a third pole here so that we would have the Canada flag, the City of Thorold flag, and when we raise a flag, we wouldn't have to take down the Thorold flag, so that it would always be up. Am I correct?
Yeah,
But the other thing, how do we capture that? Yeah.
through you, Mr. Mayor, yeah, that's correct. The third flagpole at City Hall would be for kind of temporary community flag raisings. With respect to Councillor D'Angela's question, in spite of the policy that kind of would propose a de facto 100% fundraising effort, council is free to consider case-by-case requests. I just figured assigning a 50% amount across the board, I'm not sure if council would have wanted that. So the de facto would be that it's fully fundraised, but of course council is free to bring forward motions on a case-by-case basis for going different routes on that.
Is that,
But the policy, like, I'm reading the policy on page 8 here, it says that the City of Thorold shall bear no cost for council-approved community flag raising requests to permanently fly a flag, including the cost of the flag, replacement flags, or installation of additional flagpoles. Well, I would put in there then that, again, I'll listen to the rest of the council members speak, but we have a precedence set in the past that we covered half the cost. Now you're saying no cost. So if you're trying to encourage people, if they read the policy, they're going to say, well, there's nothing. So then now you're going to force them to come in front of council to do a presentation to drive home the fact that we want to be encouraging and having community flags fly there. The way it's designed, it's designed for more flags, obviously, the way it was done there. So I would love to see more flags there, but again, not at all taxpayers' expense, so that the community groups can do that. So I would change that policy to no cost, to put a cost to be appropriated by, or something along that line, so that we know that the citizens of the community groups can come here, again, send in a request, knowing that part of the cost can be done. And the other component of that I was going to ask, and this is through you, Mr. Mayor, to maybe our Director of Finance, the other component that has to be raised per fundraising, is that eligible to issue a tax receipt if the donations are coming directly to the City of Thorold?
I don't know. I'll let Maria answer.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, as long as it is approved by council, then yes, we could issue a charitable tax receipt. You know, it's not just a matter of someone saying, here you go. They would have to come, they would have to follow our fundraising policy that specifies, you know, number one, what are the mechanisms that they're going to use for fundraising, what's the budget, and then they come to council with their plan. Council approves it, and then we can do the charitable receipt.
Okay, no, that's good to know, because there's opportunities there then, if community groups want to work through that, understanding the plan. So, again, I don't like the wording of no cost. I may be the only one that's going to speak on that. I don't know if anyone else is. That was one.
Well, we'll debate that in a sec, yeah. Did you have something else you
Well,
want?
the other one too is, we have to be a little cognizant of our expenditures, and I know it's great to have a third flagpole out there, but I would rather defer that to the budget, and that was one of the recommendations there, so we could properly plan for that. I think we could manage we're halfway through the year already. We could manage without spending the additional funds right now, and look at a mechanism of getting that into the next year's budget, so we could appropriately plan for it and make sure that's exactly what we want to do there.
Is that one of the selections there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I,
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let me just get some comments on the other item you brought.
well, okay, then you'll come back to me. I have some other comments on the report
Oh,
too.
go
So
ahead, go
It's, when I was looking at the report, and it had a list of flags that are flying right now, and there were some that said, like, C. Gross Park, McMillan Park, they said not in use. There's flagpoles there, and I know I spoke to our CAO because I had a request from a taxpayer to put a flagpole at McMillan Park. We have a flagpole there. There is a Canadian flag flying there. That's great. But I see other ones that say not in use. Just for clarity, is that because there's no flag there, or the pole is not appropriate to fly a flag, or is it, just, why would it be not in use if we have a flagpole there?
I don't know if that would be you or Jeff. Do you want to comment, or Dave Baldoni?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. So they are in use during the season, during the sports season. We take the flags down to preserve them. Opening day for sports, for baseball, soccer, we raise the flags on opening day.
Okay.
Or it's in the off-season, they're not flying, they're flying when the park's being utilized. Is
That's
that
correct.
correct? Okay.
Yeah, and just for information purposes, I would put not in use, meaning it's not being used, but it's seasonal flying. Like, so that way, when you're looking at the report, because the report says there's 33 flagpoles in our community, and there's 3 or 4 that are not in use, so I'd rather see them in use. And if it's a matter of flags, I was just gonna point out, I know when I served on council in the past, we had an excellent MP, and he would give us flags to fly, especially during our days of being Canada's most patriotic city. So if we need to reduce some costs there, then it'd be good to get some flags from our MP. So those are the comments I had for now. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Sentence, and then Councillor DeRose.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no problem with waiting till budget time for this. We're close to that, just on that comment. And maybe in the wording, we put shared costs instead of 50/50, and then we can go case by case and see how we can share. Maybe they can raise the whole thing and get a tax credit, but I would put something like shared costs in there, would be my idea.
It's a good point. Go ahead, Councillor DeRose.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, I agree with what both councilors said. Shared 50/50, I'm indifferent to that, but I also would like to defer it to next year's budget, because it's coming soon. I'm not gonna be supporting any overruns going forward unless it's an emergency, and so I agree with both councilors.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, here's two things. From what I can gather, there's an appetite to defer that flagpole expense to budget. We can, and that's one of the options. Can you call that up so I can?
The original one, I'm just working on.
So that has to be changed then, if we're not doing that. Okay, you want to finish that? And is everybody good with that wording change of Councillor Sentence to, what was that again, Councillor? Sharon? Okay, because then it gives some latitude there. Is everybody good with that? So we'll make those two changes, and then, is everybody good with, oh, go ahead, Councillor Longo, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know how to do this properly without saying too much, because I want to refer something back to staff. But without telling you what I want to refer back to staff, I need to speak about it. So, let's see how far I can go here. My understanding is the region of Niagara recently adopted a flag-raising policy and protocol, and I don't see that anywhere in here, and I believe we need to look at that.
So let me ask, is that a separate from this? Because I know where you're going with that.
Because
So
this
the regions
speaks about
amended their
this-
flag-raising policy of when they raise flags and what they raise. Is that a separate policy than this?
So this policy. Through you, Mr. Mayor, this policy does have language on when certain flags are raised to commemorate certain events. And there's language on, and there was before too, on community flag raising requests and how those are handled, weighed, determined. So I'm not sure what further, I haven't seen the region's policy.
Well, the region changed their policy. I can't give you the exact wording, but you would like us to have a look at that. So he's basically asking to refer this back so we can have a look at that, and is that what you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking for, Mr. Mayor, because I think what we're getting into, and again, we're getting flag raisings that are becoming political in nature, whether it's worldwide politics, and that's what the region looked at. And I think we need to make sure we are raising community event flags and not political statements.
So, how would we handle that?
Well, if I can just go
Because
to
I
the
think,
actual
I know where
report.
he's going, and I know that those changes made at the region, I don't know how you capture or bring them to council for council's consideration.
If I can bring up the report, and just give me a second here, because I want to make sure that it's not actually already being captured.
Or for the whole thing, but, eh?
So, under the proposed amendments, under section, just bear with me here. Section 5.4, through you, Mr. Mayor, sub 1I, it says community flag raisings related to the following will not be approved. It has a list of several matters, so perhaps I'll need a bit more clarification on what exactly I'm reviewing if that doesn't capture it already. I'll share the screen if you want to see it. So it's right here, and it lists them.
Are you good with that, or do you would still like to see the
I
region?
don't want to push this too far. It's just, again, we need to watch where we go. Matters of political controversy, I guess that's up to the clerk's interpretation of what's a political controversy.
I know where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I know,
it's, we're going to
you
be
wanna-
flying flags every single day, and we may not understand the political implications of it, but
So, you've spoken now, but is there someone that wants to refer this policy back, and we'll get the necessary changes and look at what the region's done and bring it back? Is there, who hasn't spoken? Okay, Counselor Decker, and seconder, Counselor Didavidas, that we refer this back, and it's non-debatable, okay? So we refer this back to staff to, look at the changes we talked about, and look at the region policy, and bring something back, and then we can debate it then. Are we good with that? Okay?
Can I,
One sec. I want to get this right and get it done once, so if we takes an extra council meeting to do it, so be it, you know? How do you want to handle it? Okay, so here's what's going back, and it'll come back. It's referred back, and the first item, should we vote on that separately? Because we're referring part 2 back, but,
Everything's been
okay, so we're referring both back. Is everybody good with that? You see what we're referring back? And, okay, we had a mover and seconder, we're not debating it, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. But you captured it well. Okay. Okay. CLKC 16/2025 Business Improvement Area Request regarding permit fee waiver for the 2025 BIA car cruise. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Councilor Ditavitas and Councilor O'Hare. Is there anybody that wants to speak to that? Go ahead, Councilor Ditavitas.
I just had a comment. I think this is great, how it shows teamwork between the city and the BIA working together to help the community in the downtown. And this is a very positive thing.
I can say last week was the most cars I'd seen at the car show.
Yeah, it's growing. And then what happened, a lot of people are spilling to the downtown. I went to a couple of stores and they said they might stay open now. They're encouraging them to stay open, and there's opportunity to make money, and that's what the businesses downtown want.
Okay, so we had a mover and a seconder. Go ahead, Councilor D'Angelo, and then I've got Councilor DeRose.
Yeah, I just, this is a budget overrun. Again, I'll support it here, but this is something that Councilor Ditavitas talked about, partnerships. Can we just, moving forward, include this as part of the budget so we don't have to deal with this on an annual basis? I think the event draws a lot of people downtown. It's a very positive thing. So if staff can be directed to put this in, I don't know if you need the part of the motion, but to put it in as because I'm assuming the market's gonna be here to stay, and this event will help promote it. So I would, instead of dealing with a budget overrun constantly, to have it as part of our budget.
So it's a budget overrun this year, but incorporated into the budget.
That for next year's budget, yes,
Okay.
thank you.
We got that? Okay, so it'd be an amendment, so we'll look at, go ahead, Councilor DeRose.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, is this a one-time cost, or is it on each time they show up? The permit, is it just all for all summer? Is it just one-time $280 payment?
It's a one-time payment?
The other thing is, do the cars pay anything to attend, if staff could answer? Like, do the cars pay,
No, cars
Fee?
don't pay to go to these shows.
it's such a small amount, but once again, these budget overruns are really irritating, but so be it. Like Councilor D'Angelo said, this has got to be done before
Well,
budget.
what he said is, we're gonna approve the overrun and get it included into the base budget. Am I correct? That's what you're looking for. And is that a friendly amendment with the mover and
Yes, I
seconder?
totally agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Councilor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I support what Councilor D'Angelo said. This is something that should be ongoing. Just a quick question to our CFO. So would this be added to the community market budget line? Is that where we would have this additional funds?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yeah, I think that.
Great, okay. It's super to have them on board, and as Councilor Ditavitas said, you know, there's overflow moving into the downtown. We hope to tie this in each year to greater degrees so that it just reaps benefits for everyone, so.
Okay, so we had a mover and a seconder. It's a friendly amendment included in the community market budget. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. DF 15/2025 tax increment financing agreement for 90 Ormond Street South. Are you moving that, Councilor DeRose? And a seconder, please, Councilor Sentence. And Maria's here to answer any questions. Go ahead, Councilor DeRose.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, no real questions. I just think this is a good thing. Finally, that property that's been neglected for years and years and years after many owners is going to get some tender loving care. It's gonna be, I've talked to the proponent, it's gonna be a great addition to our city. I can't say enough good things about it. I think this is a win-win situation. Don't look at the long-term cost, because just look at the whole big picture. This is a great thing for our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor Delapides.
Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I agree with Carmen DeRose. This is great for the city because we have the right person with experience doing this job, because a lot of people back away from a job like this, and throughout the years, a lot of people didn't step foot near this because it takes a lot of experience and a lot of money to do it right, and he's committed to it, and this is a great impact for the downtown too. This is going to spill over for the BIA. Any growth near downtown is much needed in Thorold, and I'm really happy to see this development going forward.
Thank you, Councillor. Anyone else? Go ahead, Councillor DeAngelo.
I said Counselor DeRose, but,
What's that?
I thought you said Counselor DeRose.
No, Councillor DeAngelo.
Again, I support this. The City of Thorold was the first to move on the tax incremental financing when we did the Kiefer Mansion and the mill. This is just a continuation. It's a great program because we're still collecting taxes, and the person that's restoring or doing the restoration of the property, which sometimes there's a heavy cost associated with that, are given an opportunity to recoup that through the increase in tax base. So it's a win-win for everyone. It's a great program, and like I said, I encourage any other businesses to move forward with this type if it's available for them with their project that they have. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? And then I'll come. Okay, go ahead.
I forgot to add something. I ran into the proponent, the project owner, last night by accident at a soccer field, and he's also going to have commercial spaces on the first floor. So that really, when he was talking to me about that, it really enticed my motivation to get this done. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. FES 6/2025, extension of temporary fire prevention staffing. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor DeRose and Councillor O'Hare. And it says Terry's here to answer any question, but I think it's Mike. Right, Mike? So the floor is open if anyone has any questions. Go ahead, Councillor DeRose.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, to the acting fire chief. So this is just right now till January 1st, presently, then we'll reassess in the new year, correct?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councilor DeRose, it's exactly, it's actually until December 31st, and then at that point, hopefully we'll have some more information that we can report back to council with steps moving forward.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, and that's carried. PWCS 2020-25, emergency guardrail repairs on Holland Road and Allenberg Road. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councillor DeAngelo and Councillor Sentence. And Jeff's here to answer any questions. Are there any? Go ahead, Councillor DeAngelo.
No, I just, it's another budget overrun, but it's an emergency and it's safety, road safety. So again, I'm going to support this to move forward to get it done. It's imperative that, we take care of our roads and make sure they're safe. So this is a no-brainer in supporting, even though it's a budget overrun.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Delapides.
Through you, sir. I'm going to support this too. There's a cost of doing business sometimes, and things like this come up, and we have to deal with it. So I totally support this.
Anyone else? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. 12.7, PWCS Award of Cleaning Services Tender. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? I've got Councillor O'Hare and Councillor Decker. Is there anyone that has any questions? Jeff's here to answer them. Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. 12.8 was the addition to the agenda, was I'll get it called up. It was a motion from the previous meeting. public forum. Just waiting to get it up on the screen. And this was moved by Councillor DeAngela, and who was seconding in that?
It's just done from scratch.
Okay, so I got Councillor DeAngela that was moving it, I got Councillor Sentence. And staff be directed to report back to council with recommendations regarding the practices and procedures followed when addressing bylaw violations that require cleanup. It's very general, but I'm sure the direction was very clear. Go ahead, Councillor.
Yeah, if I could just add, Mr. Mayor, you're quite correct. It's general because we're allowing the opportunity for staff. They heard some positive comments where there could be some opportunities to tighten the schedule and procedure up a little bit. So we'll leave it open-ended for them to come back to get to design the tools that make their job a lot easier and make it increase communication between tenants, landlords, and cleanup that has to be done from bylaw complaints that are throughout our community. I think it's a good opportunity always to review some policy to make sure that it can be done more appropriately and more efficiently. So this is an opportunity for staff to do that. Thank you.
Okay, and anyone else? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried. And before we go to notice of motion, I want to introduce Walter Basic, our Acting Director of Development Services. And I'm sorry I didn't introduce you earlier, Walter, but welcome aboard, and well, we really appreciate the work you're doing and helping us in the Development Services Division. If you have anything to add?
Thank you very much, Mayor, and I appreciate your comments, and I'm happy to finally meet everybody in person. Hello, and I'm just want to let you know that I'm having a great time.
We're happy you're here, so thank you so much. Okay, notices a motion. Councillor Sentence, do you bring a motion forward? Then go ahead, please. Oh,
yeah.
you're bringing it next meeting, but what's it regarding?
Notice a motion about the potential of a three-way stop on Richmond Street and Park Lane.
Thank you. I got Councillor DeRose.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Two notices of motion. The first one is in regard to community commemorative crosswalks to honor veterans. Secondly, I would like to bring a notice of motion regarding the state of emergency for mental health, homelessness, and addiction. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone? Did you have one, Councillor Decker? You do. Go ahead. So.
Yeah, a notice of motion, alternative payment methods for residents when they're paying for you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know.
Using credit cards or.
So you'll deal with that?
Yeah.
You'll all deal with stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Statement by Councillor. I have one. That's Councillor O'Hare. Go ahead, Councillor O'Hare.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, I just want to start by saying that this is a nonpartisan statement. There's almost 90% of our hospitals that charge for parking. And this becomes an added burden to residents undergoing medical treatment and or to visitors supporting patients in care. It's just not right. These visits can be very costly. I'm just going to read a quote about the costs. And this is from 2024, the Canadian Cancer Statistics Report. And they say that cancer costs to the average patient add up to around $33,000 to themselves. So this is another way that money is obtained. And let's face it, the money obtained from parking in a hospital is used to offset the costs of the hospital. But it's not a fair system. If someone's having to visit the hospital on a daily basis, these fees can add up to a lot of money. So I want to just inform residents that our MPP, Jeff Birch, is making a nonpartisan members motion in the Ontario legislature to have the Ontario government eliminate or address these, reduce them. Eliminate would be the best, and reduce them would be second best. And if anyone would like to add their name to a petition that will be presented to the government to help reduce these fees or eliminate them, then it's really quite simple. All you have to do is use a search engine on your computer and search Jeff Birch petition, and it'll come up, and you can just add your name, your email, and hopefully support this, this goal to take away this burden that so many families, so many people suffering are facing.
Thank you, Councillor O'Hara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, closed session we're going now. So before we put up the reason we're going into closed session, I'm just gonna state that council staff and everyone present during the closed session have an obligation to ensure that what is discussed in closed session is kept confidential. And now I'll get the motion on the screen. And I'll get the clerk to read it. Go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that council do now move into closed session to receive confidential information respecting, number one, a matter respecting personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees under section 239(2)B of the Municipal Act, and a matter respecting labor relations or employee negotiations under section 239(2)D of the Municipal Act. That's regarding staff recruitment and retention. And the second reason is a matter respecting a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board under section 239(2)C of the Municipal Act, Kiefer Mansion listing.
Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder to go into closed session? Councillor Sentence and Councillor Ditavitas. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And we'll take a few minutes. We're gonna stay in here tonight because there's no one in the gallery and that, and, so we'll just, everybody that needs to be here will be here, and then we'll close the doors. It's gone pretty good.
Yes.